we have a neat little workflow for you today here. My son wanted a star constellation on a ceiling, so what we did was we actually went in, found a picture of some somewhat realistic constellations online, drag and drop that JPEG right into SketchUp, and now you can see I'm simply tracing the lines on this picture. This will help me create an actual CAD file. So we'll speed through a lot of this creation. It's just me tracing a bunch of lines using my line tool. And once we do that, we'll finish up, and now we have to make our layout points. I'm going to be using a Trimble Robotic Total Station to lay out all of these points on my ceiling. You can see the CAD file that we finished up there, and I threw my dog in the bottom corner just to make him happy as well. Now, the thing is, this is facing up. So first thing I want to do is turn on my as-built. So I measured my room using a no data setup with a robotic total station and exported that as a DWG file and imported into SketchUp. So now I'm going to actually rotate this drawing 180 degrees so that the picture, whenever looking up at the ceiling, is true. Now I can take that and move it up on the blue axis to meet where my ceiling is and move it right into the center of my room so that the project is actually set up and aligned on my control points for my total station, which in this case are the corners of my room. The next part here is to make our layout points to use in FieldLink with our robotic total station. Now, I'm going to do a mixture of big and small stars, and I want that to be part of the design here so that it looks evenly spread throughout the project. So I will use my Trimble FieldPoints extension within SketchUp in order to make all of these design points. I can then export them out as a CSV. Now, I'm putting all of these points on here, and I'm actually doing this after the fact for sake of video, but you can see the points are created whenever I click on each of these intersections of my lines. I'm putting all of the big stars on one tag and small stars on a different tag, which will be converted into layers in FieldLink so that I can lay out all of the big stars at once, then all of the small stars at once, so that it's just a little bit easier to keep track of and make sure I get everything correct. But we're going to fast forward here and show you what I actually came up with. I did the rotation after I actually drew all my lines in the actual workflow, so all of my points are upside down but in the correct coordinate spot. So now all I have to do is take all of these points, export them out with my line work, and I will have a point file and a model file to use in FieldLink. Let's take a look. Now we're jumping into FieldLink. You can see my drawing that I made from SketchUp, and all of the small stars are turned on right now. I have the big stars off. The small stars I laid out with a little X and the big stars with a little circle, so I know what size to put on the ceiling whenever I'm finished. And again, I'm simply using an as-built of my room using a no data setup with the robotic total station I already took. So I hit my corners as control points and immediately was able to start laying out all of these stars. Now my layout settings were important here, so I want to show you what I did. I went to my settings wheel and turned off laid out points. That way, everything that I laid out started disappearing, so it's almost like a punch list. Also in measure settings, I had my nearest option selected. So what this allows me to do is, if we hop back to the layout screen here, whenever I touch the arrow at the top right, it will take me to the nearest point. I shoot that point in to record it's done, then click the next point, lay it out, shoot it in, so on and so forth. So with all of that complete, let's take a look at the final product here. I took all of the stars, put them on the ceiling, connected them with a glow-in-the-dark paint, and then made some other designs going in and around the stars with some very small crystallized glow-in-the-dark pieces as well that you can see. But all in all, I think it turned out great. My son loves it, and we can learn something about astronomy now. Now we'll jump into the glow-in-the-dark portion, which I couldn't video because the exposure was it wasn't bright enough to actually capture on video. But this is what it looks like. You can see those little specks and all of my stars, glow-in-the-dark marks, and project complete.